Imagine being born with a calculator for a brain while the rest of us are just out here using fingers and praying to the math gods every time we split a bill at dinner. Like, hey Alexa, how do I divide $68 by 4 friends when one of them did not order dessert but still had 3 bites of mine? Meanwhile, there is always that one friend who is like, it is $17 each, minus $2.50 for Sarah's 3 bites, plus tip, round up for emotional distress, and boom. And you are just sitting there like, are you secretly a wizard? So why are some people naturally good at math? Is it brain structure, childhood trauma involving Legos and symmetry, a magical gene passed down by algebraic ancestors? Or did they just get dropped in a vat of Sudoku puzzles as babies? Let us crunch some neural numbers and find out. First off, it is not about being born with some kind of number sensei badge tattooed on your cortex. But there actually is something called number sense. And yes, some kids show signs of it way early, like recognizing that 5 cookies is a bigger snack win than 3, no matter how they are arranged. This intuitive grasp of quantity, ratios, and spatial reasoning is partly genetic, meaning, yes, some people are just naturally wired to look at a pie chart and not immediately crave dessert. But before you throw your hands up and blame your math anxiety on your ancestors who probably traded goats without receipts, there is more to the story. See, your brain is not some fixed calculator with limited battery life. It is more like a gym. You have got muscles for different things: language, memory, visual processing, and the math muscle lives mostly in your parietal lobe, which sits somewhere around the top back of your brain, like a tiny beanbag chair full of numbers. People who are good at math usually show more activity in this region. MRI scans literally light up like a Christmas tree when they do calculations. But here is the twist. It is not just the size or location of your math brain, it is the connections. Think neural Wi-Fi. People with strong math skills tend to have better connections between the parietal lobe and the prefrontal cortex, which handles decision-making and working memory. Basically, their brains are better at downloading, uploading, and multitasking with numerical data without buffering like a 2003 YouTube video. Now, let us talk about childhood. You know those kids whose parents casually dropped math into every sentence like it was seasoning? If we leave at 3:45 and it takes us 35 minutes to get there, what time will we arrive? Yeah, those kids got an early workout in brain math gym. Exposure, repetition, and encouragement can massively shape how comfortable a child gets with math. And let us be honest, confidence is half the game. A kid who believes math is fun is already doing better than a kid who thinks math is a medieval torture method disguised as homework. But wait, here comes another plot twist. Emotions. Yes, math and emotions are like the odd couple sitcom nobody expected. Research shows that people who feel anxiety about math light up their brain's pain centers. Not even kidding. To a math-anxious person, a fraction can feel like a paper cut to the soul, and once fear enters the chat, working memory gets hijacked. Suddenly, your brain is like, should I solve this equation or panic and replay every time I got a math question wrong in year 7? This is why 2 people with the same raw potential can have wildly different outcomes. One got support and encouragement, the other got red ink and a lifetime of calculator phobia. Here is another brainy nugget. Math is not just one skill, it is a buffet. There is arithmetic, algebra, geometry, statistics, logic, and mathematical reasoning. Someone might be a whiz at visualizing 3D shapes, but cry at the sight of percentages. Others can solve equations in their sleep, but cannot figure out how to split a tip. Being good at math is more like being good at a mix of different mental sports, and no one dominates all of them. Except maybe your friend Daniel, who builds robots for fun and calculates his exact coffee-to-energy efficiency ratio. So what makes someone naturally good at math is a cocktail of factors: genes, brain structure, childhood environment, confidence, curiosity, and whether they grew up playing with number blocks or chewing them. But here is the magical part. Anyone can get better at math. You are not stuck. Your brain is a glorious, squishy, upgradable machine. Neuroplasticity is real, and it means with the right practice, you can literally rewire your brain to get sharper with numbers. It is not about talent, it is about training. Let us talk strategy. 1. Ditch the myth that math ability is fixed. That idea is as outdated as floppy disks and MySpace. Think of math like learning a new language, but instead of saying bonjour, you are saying x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, which is basically French if you squint hard enough. Use apps, games, and visual tools that turn math into something your brain wants to play with, not run from. Khan Academy, Prodigy, or even Lego engineering kits can make math feel like Minecraft, not misery. 2. Make mistakes your BFF. Good math students do not avoid errors, they dive into them like it is a forensic investigation. Where did the logic crime happen? Aha, missing negative sign. Caught you, you sneaky little minus gremlin. Mistakes are literally where learning happens. When you get a question wrong and correct it, that correction embeds deeper than if you got it right the first time. Your brain is like, oh, so that is how it works, and builds a stronger mental path. 3. Focus on why, not just how. Anyone can memorize that 7 times 8 is 56, but when you understand that it is 7 groups of 8 things, or better yet, break it into 7 times 10 minus 7 times 2, you are building number sense, not just memorizing facts. The naturally good at math folks often visualize, break down, and reframe problems. They are not doing math faster, they are doing it smarter, using shortcuts and logic rather than raw horsepower. 4. Chill out with the speed obsession. Being good at math does not mean doing it fast. That is like saying a good chef is someone who microwaves a meal in under 2 minutes. Nah. Real math ability is about understanding, not racing. Take your time. Breathe. Use paper, draw stuff, ask questions. Do not just memorize, marinate. Also, let us give a shout out to pattern recognition. Math is basically a giant pattern party. If your brain loves finding shapes, rules, and systems, you are halfway to math genius already. That is why people who enjoy music, chess, and even origami often shine in math. They are already tuned into symmetry, sequence, and structure. Like, if you love figuring out how to fold a paper crane without crying, algebra is probably going to feel like a light stretch, not a full-on workout. But you might be wondering, if brains are flexible and training works, why do some people still breeze through calculus while others feel like they are reading ancient alien runes? Simple. They got their reps in early. Like a muscle, early training sticks, and even if they take breaks, the muscle memory remains. But again, late bloomers can absolutely catch up. The adult brain can learn. In fact, many adults return to math later in life and crush it because now they are learning for understanding, not just for passing tests while also dodging puberty and cafeteria drama. So, are some people naturally good at math? Sure, in the way that some people are naturally good at dancing or remembering every single Pokemon ever made. But talent without effort is like a Lamborghini with no fuel. It looks shiny, but goes nowhere. And effort without talent? That is a used bicycle with a rocket strapped to it. Eventually, it flies. The big takeaway here is this. Math is not about being born with a gift. It is about developing a relationship with numbers that is not based on fear, shame, or flashbacks of your teacher sighing loudly when you asked what a hypotenuse was. You can learn it, grow it, flex it, and yes, even enjoy it. So go forth and embrace the numbers. Turn your math anxiety into math curiosity. Forget the myth of the math genius and remember that the true genius is the one who keeps learning, keeps practicing, and maybe, just maybe, start seeing multiplication tables as less of a nightmare and more of a secret code to the universe. And if you made it this far without breaking into a cold sweat at the word algebra, then congratulations, you are already ahead of the game. Now tell us in the comments, were you the math kid, the let me copy your homework kid, or the I am just here for moral support kid? Smash that like button like it owes you pie, hit subscribe for more ridiculously funny breakdowns of life's biggest mysteries, and share this with someone whose brain still twitches every time they hear the phrase word problem. This is XQ, quick funny explanations, bringing you brainy brilliance at the speed of laughter.